so many times you start building this thing because you see some Alex Hormozy video and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to build this company that's worth $100 million. And Alex says, do X, Y, and Z. So I'm going to start doing all these things. And then you wake up and you realize, like, do I even really want that? Is that something that I'm that really is going to fulfill me? Is that even something that I'm even gifted at? And so many times we forget to step back and take a look at like who we are, what our giftings are, and how we can best serve a marketplace. Maybe it's not to be the guy in the front. Maybe it's not to be the person who's running the parade. Maybe you need to be more of a supporting role, and now you're trying to force yourself into this role that maybe you weren't made for, because that's what I saw online, And so really taking a step back and trying to evaluate, like, okay, what are my strong suits? Where do I maybe need support or help in? And what really brings me fulfillment and joy?
Yeah, that's exactly what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
There's a lot of noise in the world, and don't cut it all out, of course, but you have to filter it in a way that's beneficial to you and your workflow.
Yeah. Yeah. And know that your journey is going to be different than somebody else's, and your strengths are going to be different than somebody else's, and that you're kind of a unique individual. It's not a one size fits all type thing. And so, again, it's when I started Brand Viva, it was, all right, I know how to take photos and videos. This is something I enjoy, and then as I grew the company, I really wasn't in love with the art of photography or the art of cinematography. I had a really good eye. I had developed a good eye. And so I was like naturally gifted at it, but it wasn't something that I was passionate about, that I was like always like thinking, how can I get the better shot? How can I,
Yeah.
do these things? And so it was like, for me, it was like, okay, now I need to start working myself out of all the doing and allow other people who they are obsessed about those things and they're passionate. How can I support them? And I found that really, I really find fulfillment when I can lift other people up, and when I can like push people to be the best version of themselves and encourage people and be your cheerleader. And that's really where like my role has developed over the years.
Right. Yeah, those client relations are absolutely the most important thing for just for your own personal well-being, right? It's not just
Yeah.
a business. Like it's a fulfillment thing in a way that's bigger than work itself.
Right. Yeah. And some of our mottos at Brand Viva are, how do we leave each other and the clients we work with better than we found them? How do we surprise and delight? That's something I got from Apple, is like surprise and delight. And yeah, those are the things that really fulfill me, is when I get to meet a client and build kind of a more of a friendship with them, like a personal relationship, and then that's really what fills me up. And what I enjoy doing is more of that business development and whatnot. And again, if I was forcing myself to, because I was afraid to release control of like creativity or post production or whatever it might be, it's like I don't think I would have ever been able to grow, to where we are now, because
Mhm.
I'd be too obsessed with trying to micromanage and control all the processes that got us to where we are. And I need to be able to release some of that, trust other people, and give other people an opportunity to shine to where they are best suited.
Absolutely. And you had the foresight to delegate the work and realize that giving up on a certain aspect of the role that you were doing wasn't necessarily something that you would be losing progress on. You'd just be growing more because you have the ability to pass it off to someone